You hate your financial life, but you're terrified to leave it. You complain about being broke. You complain about bills. You complain about debt. You complain about surviving instead of living. But the second change becomes uncomfortable, you freeze. And that right there is why most people stay financially trapped for their entire lives. You would have never guessed that to be the financial reasoning, because your brain would rather protect familiar pain than risk unfamiliar success. Do you agree or find this to be the case? Most people think being broke is only about money. It's not. Being broke is psychological, it's emotional, it's behavioral. Because if logic alone created wealth, almost everyone would be financially free already. People know they should save, people know they should stop overspending, people know they should invest, people know they should learn skills, people know they should change their environment, but they don't. Why? Because fear is stronger than information. And today, we're going to expose the real reason people stay stuck financially for years. Not because they can't change, but because change terrifies them. Most people think comfort means happiness. That's false. Comfort simply means familiarity, and your brain is biologically designed to protect familiarity, even if it's destroying your future. That's why people stay in toxic relationships, toxic jobs, toxic routines, toxic financial habits, because predictable suffering feels safer than uncertain growth. Does this sound familiar to you? Are you used to a familiar perspective? Think about this. You know your current lifestyle isn't working, yet every day you repeat it. Same paycheck, same stress, same overdraft notifications, same anxiety, same exhaustion, same excuses, same financial panic every month, and eventually, your struggle becomes your identity. That's dangerous, because once pain becomes familiar, you stop fighting to escape it. Why, you might ask? Well, the truth is your brain has already convinced you this is normal behavior. But is it really? I think not. But close your eyes and picture this type behavior for a minute, and tell me exactly what it is you've gained from this. If anything, your brain starts saying, "At least I know what to expect." That sentence silently destroys millions of lives. At least I know what to expect, even if what you expect is stress, bills, debt, fear, exhaustion, scarcity. You stay there because uncertainty feels more dangerous than suffering. Are you having similar thoughts yet? Well, I'm sure you have. And later in this video, I'm going to explain the hidden mental trap that keeps broke people financially frozen even when opportunities appear directly in front of them. Because most people aren't failing due to lack of opportunity. They're failing because fear trained them to reject change. It's easier, you say, because fear makes people defend the life they hate. Here's the scary part. People don't just tolerate financial struggle, they defend it. Someone suggests investing? That sounds risky. Someone suggests starting a business? Most businesses fail. Someone suggests budgeting? I still need to enjoy life. Someone suggests cutting expenses? I deserve nice things. Someone suggests learning new skills? I don't have time. Notice what's happening? The brain instantly creates protection mechanisms. Because growth threatens the identity you've become. And the longer someone struggles financially, the harder it becomes to imagine another life. Eventually, they stop asking, "How do I escape?" and start asking, "How do I survive?" That mindset shift changes everything. Because survival mode kills vision. Survival mode kills long-term thinking. Survival mode kills risk-taking. And without risk, most people never change financially. It's sad, but people rather stay broke for decades as to take risk on the front end. Imagine two people. Both are broke. Both are stressed. Both hate their lives. But one person decides, "I'm tired of living like this." They start learning, saving, building, changing. The other person says, "This is just how life is." 5 years later, one life completely transformed. The other stayed exactly the same. Not because of intelligence, not because of luck, because one person became willing to feel uncomfortable. Most people don't realize this, but your environment is shaping your financial identity every single day. If everyone around you struggles with money, being broke starts feeling normal. If everyone around you spends recklessly, overspending feels normal. If everyone around you avoids investing, investing feels dangerous. Humans naturally adapt to their environment. That's survival psychology. So basically, it's something you could have never imagined. This is why people often sabotage themselves after making progress, because growth isolates you from familiar behaviors, and isolation feels uncomfortable. Suddenly, you stop relating to certain conversations, certain spending habits, certain lifestyles, certain mentalities, and many people return to financial struggles simply to feel accepted again. That's how powerful environment is. Sounds crazy, huh? Yeah, I know, I agree. Your brain constantly asks, what behavior keeps me connected to the group? Not, what behavior creates freedom? That's why financially trapped environments often create financially trapped people. No matter how hard you try to avoid the situation, it still occurs. But near the end of this video, I'm going to explain the exact mindset shift that allows people to break free from fear without needing motivation every day. Because motivation fades, identity lasts. This is one of the biggest psychological traps in existence. People avoid temporary discomfort and accidentally create permanent suffering. Think about it. Budgeting feels uncomfortable, so people avoid it. Now they stay stressed for years. Learning skills feels difficult, so people avoid it. Now they stay underpaid for years. Investing feels scary, so people delay it. Now they lose decades of growth. Short-term comfort, long-term pain. That's the cycle that occurs on a daily basis. No matter how hard you try to avoid it, the reality is the fact it's still there. And social media makes this worse because now people compare themselves constantly. They see luxury lifestyles, fast money, expensive cars, perfect vacations, and instead of building wealth slowly, they try to look wealthy immediately. That destroys financial futures because fake wealth is addictive. And real wealth requires patience. Emotional pain point. Most people aren't broke because they don't make money. They're broke because they fear delayed gratification. They fear sacrifice. They fear feeling behind. They fear missing out. And those emotional fears silently control their decisions. You will always behave in alignment with who you believe you are. If you believe, I'm bad with money, you'll continue proving it. If you believe, I'll probably always struggle, your behaviors will reflect it. Identity creates behavior. Behavior creates outcomes. And this is what causes you to really dig deep into your financial behavior, for which is costing you your future. That's why temporary motivation rarely changes lives, because people try to change habits. Without changing identity, they say, I want to save money, but internally they still identify as financially unstable. So eventually, their old identity pulls them back. Why is that, you ask? Because you cannot build financial freedom without building some type of financial foundation for which to stay grounded to on a regular. Real financial transformation starts when your identity changes first, when you stop saying, I'm trying to survive, and start saying, I'm building freedom. Everything changes. Your decisions change, your priorities change, your spending changes, your focus changes. Your future changes without you even realizing this. And in a few minutes, I'm going to explain why most people quit changing right before their financial breakthrough happens. Because this next psychological trap destroys almost everyone. And why is that? Your brain cannot stand uncertainty. Your brain values certainty more than success. That's important to understand. Even negative certainty can feel safer than positive uncertainty. That's why people stay at jobs they hate. Stay trapped in debt cycles. Stay stuck in routines they complain about daily. Because uncertainty triggers fear responses inside the brain. And growth always requires uncertainty. Always. No matter the risk for which you put forth the growth to try and get your money to compounding and growing outlandish. Well, what happens, might I ask? Nobody feels fully ready. Nobody feels fully confident. Nobody feels fully secure. People become successful despite uncertainty, not after uncertainty disappears. That moment never comes. Why is this? Why is that? Why is this hit home? Why is this hit hard? Why is this build unexpectedly well? Here it is. Are you willing and ready? Is that a yes or no? Starting today, most people are waiting to feel ready before taking action. That's why they stay stuck forever. Because confidence is built through action, not before it, but during it. Are you willing to experience the situation matter for which you stand and view on a regular basis? Imagine where your life could be 3 years from now if you stopped letting fear make decisions for you. Imagine the peace, the freedom, the stability, the confidence, the options. Now imagine staying exactly where you are. Same stress, same exhaustion, same panic, same fear. That future is also being built right now. Fear doesn't just steal opportunities, it steals time. And time is the one thing nobody gets back. Every year spent delaying change compounds. Financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because here's the one last thing they never tell us. One day, you wake up and realize years disappeared, still stressed, still surviving, still saying, one day I'll change. But someday becomes next year becomes 5 years, then 10. And suddenly, your fear quietly stole your entire future. Sounds extremely sad to hear, especially when it could have been avoided. Listen carefully. Your comfort zone is not protecting you, it's imprisoning you. The fear you keep obeying is the exact thing keeping you financially stuck. And until you become willing to feel uncomfortable, nothing changes. Not your income, not your mindset, not your future. However, let's be honest, I highly recommend you to jump into this financial romance head first and attack with vengeance. If this video hit you personally, good. That means part of you knows it's time to change. Because your future will not improve accidentally. You either stay loyal to your fear, or you become loyal to your future. If you're serious about escaping the financial trap, subscribe now, because this channel is built for people who are tired of surviving and ready to finally build freedom.